Hey you're listening to episode 129 of the Keto Diet Podcast, and today I'm chatting about how to know whether or not you are fat adapted without the need to test, and really what the difference is between being in ketosis and being fat adapted. Now, if you have questions about today's content, you can go to healthfulpursuit.com/contact and ask me. Today's podcast extras and transcript, including extra resources, can be found at healthfulpursuit.com/podcast/E129. I got one cool thing for you today, and that is that I've been busy working on a cookbook over the last year. It comes out in April, and if you want to pre-order the book, which you definitely do because it'll be less expensive than waiting until it comes out, you can do so by going to ketodietbook.com. Basically, Amazon has this awesome price guarantee, so when you commit to pre-ordering the book, you lock in the lowest price it'll be from the day you commit to the day it launches. You can find out more by going to ketodietbook.com for all the different pre-order options. And when you pre-order, head on back to ketodietbook.com. And on the top navigation bar in the green there, it says free with your copy. Click on that, enter your email address, and I will send you a free Keto Essentials bundle for pre-ordering. It's complete with an allergen guide, a 3-day meal plan, and a special coupon code. Okay, let's do this thing. Welcome to the Keto Diet Podcast, the show all about keto for women so you can burn fat, balance your hormones, and heal your body. Starting and maintaining keto can be challenging without the right support. So just for listening to the podcast, I want to give you 20% off the keto beginning with the coupon code Keto Podcast. That's all one word. This 30-day program gives you a clear step-by-step how-to so you can quickly adapt to a ketogenic diet, avoid common struggles, and get the results you crave. Go to healthfulpursuit.com/begin to get your keto beginning discount today. If you're new around these parts, I'm Leanne Vogel. You may know me as the international best-selling author of The Keto Diet, founder of happyketobody.com, or maybe you know me as the nutritionist that likes dipping pork rinds in avocado oil mayo. I'm so glad you're here with me today. Thanks so much for listening. Awesome. So first, let's chat about the difference between being fat adapted and being in ketosis. So being in ketosis is a result of eating minimal carbohydrates and upping your dietary fat. When this happens, your body produces a super efficient fuel source, the ketone. Now, fat adaptation takes this a little bit further. When you're fat adapted, your body has successfully transitioned out of being a carb or glucose burner and knows 100% that fat is its primary fuel source. It has built up the enzymatic and metabolic processes to effectively burn fat as fuel, and it can slide in and out of this state quickly and with ease. And while you can be on a ketogenic diet from day one and start generating ketones quite quickly within maybe 3 or 4 days, the fat adaptation process can take 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I've seen it take even longer. It really depends on you, your body, how you've structured your eating style, your macros, and really where your metabolism is at. But once you're fat adapted, this is really the end result of the ketogenic diet and where you're going to stay long term. So how do we know that we're fat adapted? Well, once you start eating keto, your ketones will start registering pretty soon. Like I said, maybe 3 or 4 days in. And you can test for this if you wish via blood, urine, or breath tests. Now, personally, I enjoy the blood testing. I find it's the most accurate tool for testing ketones, but I'll leave that up to you. And testing your ketones will tell you if you're in the process of becoming fat adapted. So you can register just even a touch of ketones and you're already in that process of getting to that fat adapted state. But if you've ever looked at the cost of testing your blood for ketones, it can be rather costly. And if you test every day, it can be upwards of $150 per month in all of the items that you need to test. Instead of relying on test strips, you can instead work from the signs that point to you being fat adapted, which will save you from poking your finger and save some cash so you can spend it on like avocado oil mayo or something. Back to today's episode in a sec. Some people choose to do plant-based keto and others do carnivore-based keto, and I'd like to think I'm somewhere in the middle, loving meat and plants. I thrive on the right kind of animal protein from healthy animals, animals that get treated fairly, have happy lives on pasture, and are raised ethically. This is why I choose to eat grass-fed and finished beef, free-range chicken, heritage-bred pork, and wild fish. I'm so happy I can get all of these options from ButcherBox, a meat subscription service I've used since 2016. Listeners of the show get a free filet mignon, pack of bacon, and $10 off their first box, plus free shipping from now until the end of February 2019. You can head on over to butcherbox.com/keto diet to order your first box and get your free filet mignon, bacon, and $10 off your first order. Okay, back to today's episode. So here are the signs that I like to use to determine whether somebody is fat adapted. And like I said, even though you'll start registering ketones fairly early in your ketogenic practice, and you may technically be in ketosis, your body doesn't yet know that fat can be its primary fuel. It's still a little bit confused, searching for glucose, and maybe you're even feeling a bout of keto flu as it's figuring it out. So you stick with it, stay on top of your hydration, keep your electrolytes balanced, and you'll be on your merry keto way in no time. So once you're fat adapted, it's likely that you'll have higher ketones, but I've actually seen people have lower ketones once they're fat adapted. So really, the testing of the ketones is a very, very small part of determining whether or not you're fat adapted. So here are a couple of the signs you can watch for. Number one, you can skip meals without getting angry, hungry, punchy, hangry, whatever you want to call it. Number two, you can go 3, 4, 5, even 6 hours without a snack and also not get angry, punchy, or hangry. 3, you don't get ravenous with an intense hunger feeling that takes over you. You don't get shaky before meals also. Number 4, you crave high-fat foods over carb foods. The day you wake up and you want eggs and bacon over pancakes or oatmeal, if this is something that you enjoyed previously, this is a really good indication that you're fat adapted. Number 5, your exercises, especially aerobic type exercises, don't come with their usual replenishment requirements. Plateaus and bonking are really a thing of the past at this stage. Number 6, you experience copious amounts of energy. Your energy is clear, clean, and consistent without any highs and lows, really. Number 7, the energy that you experience should be even all day. So afternoon lulls shouldn't be existing. They just won't exist. You'll go through the evening without being totally exhausted. And last sign, number 8, your thoughts will become lighter. I know that when I was carb fueled, a lot of stress and worries would bog me down. Now that I'm fat fueled, I find that my brain has a better way of handling stress and thoughts. And it's confusing to most people, but if you're fat adapted, you will totally understand what I mean on this. Back to today's episode in a sec. Today's show is brought to you by Four Sigmatic. Years ago, I was addicted to caffeine and it wasn't pretty. Multiple pots of coffee is what got me through the day. And if I didn't have enough, I'd suffer through headaches. If you want to get off the caffeine roller coaster like I did, try Four Sigmatic coffee. It has half the caffeine of the other stuff, but tastes like the real deal. What's the secret? Think of it like a 50-50 mix of coffee and unicorn dust brought to you by the power of mushrooms. Mushrooms have been used in traditional Chinese medicine for centuries to treat fatigue, sickness, kidney disease, and low sex drive. Their coffee is a blend of organic Arabica coffee and mushrooms focused on increasing brain power, lowering stress, energy boosting, and more. You can use the coupon code KETO for 15% off all things at foursigmatic.com/keto. Unsure of the link? Check out today's show notes for all the details. Okay, back to today's episode. So, basically, in summary, becoming fat adapted means that you've gained the metabolic flexibility that you can burn fat on your body and you can burn the fat in your food and you can burn glucose quite easily and you can switch back and forth quite quickly. You can switch from burning those carbohydrates, eating those carbs, and getting back to burning fat. Once you're in that fat adapted state, this is a great time to include carb ups. And if you're like, carb up a what-a? I'll include a link in today's show notes, which you guys can find at healthfulpursuit.com/podcast/E129 on what carb ups are and how to incorporate these into your eating style once you become fat adapted if you want to play around. Okay, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and I will see you on Sunday. Bye. Thanks for listening to the Keto Diet Podcast. Join us again in a couple of days to discover more keto for women secrets for your fat-fueled life. The Keto Diet Podcast, including show notes and links, provides information in respect to healthy living, recipes, nutrition, and diet, and is intended for informational purposes only. The information provided is not a substitute for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment, nor is it to be construed as such. We cannot guarantee that the information provided on the Keto Diet Podcast reflects the most up-to-date medical research. Information is provided without any representations or warranties of any kind. Please consult a qualified physician for medical advice and always seek the advice of a qualified healthcare provider with any questions you may have regarding your health and nutrition program.